Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and one of the coaches at TradeView Markets. I'm sure our regulars have heard the coach's video. Actually, it just wound up a little. It just wrapped up a little while ago as the tech team was letting me know. Good job to the tech team. I like when the videos go back to back. I don't know if there was an optimal thing today, but thank you for tuning in and hanging in there. I'm a little bit usually come on at 11 or sometime near there. It's a little bit after that 11:10 Eastern, but thank you for waiting. We'll make it worth your while. Let's get in there. Okay, it's Fed Day. This being Wednesday, and I'm not going to go to any screens or direct you to something that could distract you. And I say this in modesty set aside because I don't know how many people are ever on. I gifted or whatever you want to call it, earned it to this point to get to the platform. So anybody that knows me, even going once, know that my sincerity is the least of my concerns, or should be yours. So is that this? I didn't want to put anything on the screen. Is that on a Fed day, this is a time where fundamentals are more important than anything. I have queries that will light up the board if I choose to, the proprietary ones that I show you guys every once in a while, or other ones that use like bar chart or up on my screen here or stock screener or whatever they are. I use them a lot and they're free, but stock selection is going to be the least of our issues. But fundamentally is, this is where trading might not be that difficult today if you have a plan. And this is where trading might not be that hard. It's where traders make trading hard. Point is, before we get into the action, is that be prepared for a couple of things and know your style and know what you're good and you're bad at. I've been bringing up a couple of times here on this is the TradeView Market site, obviously, and this is how I sign into TradeGATEHub, and I'll do that now just so you know what I'll sign in because we're not infants. You can understand my point here. At least get the sincerity where I am so far. Is that don't know why the market is moving. Obviously, interest rates coming up. The 2-year just literally will go. I will go to TradeGATEHub. This way I sign in just like everybody else. And the last thing I believe I posted is that, hi coach, is that the 2-year we've been watching all week. It's 4%. It's highest in 2007. Obviously, the 2-year, you don't have to read the business pages every day to know that that's a major inflationary inflection point. If not, it's going in the wrong direction, considering inflation and considering we're going into, a Fed decision in a couple of hours. That's what everybody's looking at. And I don't think I've ever I don't really star symbols. I guess that maybe you can, I don't know how to take, some people could take that. I mean, I use a lot of caps. People tell me don't use caps all the time. Apparently I'm offending people or something. I don't know. But if I use stars, it's my room and coach's room or TradeView Markets room. So UUP, get to know it. But this is the thing. Don't let any stocks that you're not willing to, don't let your trades turn into positions. And don't be willing to buy. We're going to talk two tactical ways. Trading, direct trading in terms of taking the money out of the market. Into the Fed, I still have some time, being 11:15, decision comes out 2 Eastern. And going, very small. The swing trading, I can't tell because most of the Fed moves, I digress. Majority of the Fed moves, and coach will definitely edify this, if not the guys in here, do the opposite from how they closed the day before. So we have to keep that in mind. Our levels have been working properly. We're not splitting the atom, knowing that 3,900 on the S&P is an important level. So either knowing that if you're going to know yourself going into this before, during, and after, and there's going to be a residual hangover with this Fed decision as there was after the Jackson Hole decision. So, there's going to be a lot of good opportunities, more than usual, going forward. So don't try to make the month. You're more apt to lose the month than make the month in these type of situations, because even the very advanced traders have a tendency to hold their losers a little bit longer than their winners. Just know why, because it's going to be a cerebral market to a degree, if not leading up to this. So the other thing I want to point out, or is to conclude on my second point of don't let your trades, turn into positions. We'll even look at a chart like this today. And this is where the trepidation comes in even the long term. Let's look at the chart of Google. Okay, here's Google right here. Okay, make sure everybody can see the chart. All right. So here we go on Google. It might be an antiquated index. It might be becoming like IBM has become, for a generation, or, Hewlett Packard, if you will. I mean, there are new leaders, but certainly Google is the one, until at least I recently saw, in a lot of portfolios, and a lot of mom and pop portfolios, unfortunately. But there's the line in the sand on Google. The RSI is as cheap as it's become. Let's even go to a weekly, the kiss of death. When you're trying to can't find support on a daily, you have to go to weekly. All right, so here's Google, the line in the sand on the weekly. This is where Google is going to make or break a lot of portfolios, in my opinion, going forward. When the stock is this sensitive, this major stock, like I said, in all funds across the board, not in mine or ours, by the way, and I'm waiting. And I'm willing to pay 105 instead of 92 if it breaks this weekly at the even 100 par. People, I used to sit, we used to sit as day traders, going back decades ago or 2 decades ago, and waiting for a stock like Google to go through the whole number of 100. A lot of people are looking at this chart, just like the same that they're watching Tesla. Look at that Tesla weekly. And conversely, everybody's waiting for this Tesla to break to 310, 315. And if it does that with the RSI in the middle, I mean, that's become a new leader, not only because I think it's in the right sector. As a matter of fact, I know it's in the right sector. All the autos are performing well, or the EVs, until Ford laid an egg yesterday, but that's Ford. I digress. So everybody's watching Tesla on the long term, just like they're watching Google on the long term. Well, where's Microsoft? Microsoft looks the same as Google, if I remember correctly, and I should. Yeah, I mean, these are barometers that you're going to look at. You're not going to, I don't think I'm going to miss if I buy Google, because things may change within the next 3 hours long term. And I'm looking for these type of macro stocks to build a little bit of base. I also learned a couple of lessons. I digress again, is not that lessons. I never implemented lessons or rules in my trading career, unless they were put on me or collared, which, knock on wood, and I'm not superstitious, as everybody knows, happen few and far between. But there are certain things I won't do anymore. I won't take overnights, as everybody knows, after the VIX is up 30. And I'm not taking cheap stocks anymore. The majority of money that I'm down in or lost this year have been these not low floaters, but stocks that, they made a big move, they rested, they died, and they just sat there. And I don't enjoy babysitting these type of stocks. That's why I'd rather take 6,000 or 8,000 shares of a Roku or a Run or whatever it means, in a Sun, instead of sitting in, a Nerve, which I don't like babysitting all these stocks. Those are for speculative accounts, which I have. So let me jump forward and go into what the plan is today. Keeping in mind, my first most important, and always the most important thing, is don't let your trades become positions, because then when, we all know that after today and leading up, trickling down into probably the weekend into Monday, the market's going to be volatile. So keep cash aside, because that's what you need. You want to be cash to maneuver. And I certainly have a lot, in the fund, a good part of it. There are some stocks that I'm down to. What am I going to do with Nike, as we discussed yesterday? What am I going to do here? I'm not going to add to it yet. I like it going long term. Just a week ago, the stock I was looking to add to it was above all the moving averages. It was at 214. I got it at a good price at 114. I got a good price between 106 and 108. Now I have to go to the proverbial kiss of death, go to the weekly. So Nike, what am I going to do? It's the line in the sand. It's either going to go, to the 90. Actually, Coach said yesterday, I believe, like 94 to 95. And he did say 97, but if it's going to 94, it's going to go to right here to 95. So, that's what I'm dealt with on the short term. On the long term, on the short term, stocks that continue to be best of breeds and acting well. GLBE is another one I might buy. That's been acting. It had great news. TTD, another one that acted well, had a good quarter. Was our Uber is acting well. Uber still had the bounce up so you know what, these stocks, we'll push real quick. Do I have questions? There are stocks that are programmed even algo wise that are above the 50-day or 200-day that are acting well, and blah blah blah. It doesn't mean that I can't look at a stock like PVH, Philip Van Heusen. Don't they make? I think they're part of a Calvin Klein or something, aren't they? I saw a lot of calls flying out on Yeti yesterday. Yeti, I sold at 35.13. Things like this, or even a Crocs that I sold very well in the fund. But it doesn't look like a lot, but 79 to 69, that's a $10 range on this. How about on Nutella? So here we are on the spies, and let me give the plan going forward because I'm going to be more active after the video than I am now. Here we are, and they arrested, it's, you know what I mean? I feel like I can convince a large majority of people why there are 10 to 15 good reasons why the market's going to go to 3,700, some even say 3,300. Who's they? You know what I mean? Or go back to at least maybe 4,100. I can convince you very much so that there are good reasons why. And there's Andres getting you 10 years getting closer. So we have Andres. 10 years getting closer. So let's go to the whys, guys. I'm not doing much. I have a list of stocks that I want to buy. Is Google on one of them? Yes. What are another ones on my list? Netflix, I said I like that. Like Netflix here. Roku is on my list. And by the way, these stocks are on my list because of technical reasons and somewhat valuation reasons. The cheapest one right now, one of them right now is Meta, and that can't find the bottom. I should adjust this for that split. But Meta, we went from hero to zero. It was 180. Now it's 144. The RSI is where I want it to be, where you want to start adding. But the stock is in a downtrend. And when an RSI looks like that, you're probably looking for a rally to short. And like I said about all these macro stocks, until they build a base, and for a reason for them to base, then I'm not really going to add or go into them that much further. So I know I'm switching maybe from macro to micro view. Let's go to the micro. Today's view. Okay. Jim Cramer this morning. Okay, he is what he is. Bulls should favor predictability. That's right. And look what he says about Powell. Naturally, you should have already seen this today because my Twitter feed and some of my followers should be yours as well. And James Cramer these days might not be the judge and the jury, but he does have a high level opinion. Okay, we have our plan coming in today. This was market sentiment. So, I mean, it's chop. What's ever happening now, and I don't have the quotes in front of me because I don't want to get distracted, but what's ever happening now is chop and players repositioning and nobody really taking a stand. Repositioning means if you're down a couple of dollars on PayPal, and I saw PayPal was up a couple of dollars, you're going to get out. You know what I mean? You're going to reposition, mean getting into some cash, which apparently is still paying you very well. And you're not going to try to be a hero. That's what the smart guys do. Trust me. We gave the morning rundown via the Goldman trading desk. This is the Jesus feed. Excuse me. Yeah, buy me 20,000. Idiot. Jesus feed as of today. Okay. We spoke about Valero on yesterday's, Coach and I. We spoke about Valero. Coach and I spoke about CCJ. We talked about LVS. Hold on a second. LVS we talked about. Oh, you know what? I'm on my I'm sorry. I apologize. I am talking very fast today. Here's a share. Okay. I have to reiterate then what Cramer said right there. The plan coming in today, we were oversold. The morning rundown by the Goldman desk. Calls. Coach and I, I'd like to reiterate, spoke about all these stocks, at least 4 out of 7 of them. We spoke yesterday in the room on our macro in the cage. Valero talked about it. CCJ, LVS. I will go properly to the chart now. Let's look at LVS. And listen, again, we're not splitting the atom. LVS coming right back down through support. Wow, look at that. That's not a good sign. It was breaking out yesterday, 41, now 37.20. Right to support again, but it's going to have to hold. Not a good sign. But LVS we talked about. Another one. Going back to our TGH. Obviously, we spoke about Tesla. Ford, G-Money spoke about that yesterday. So we're speaking about where the call and where the option flow is. And any situation where I'm trying to take a stand in one of these Googles, Apples, or Meta, if you will, some more than others, is I'm looking for option flow to come in. Option flow being this. And I'm not looking for guys to play these cheap speculative, weeklies where they're looking for a 2-week bounce and just buying a boatload of Google calls or MU calls because they're cheap instead of buying, the stock at $100 a share. What you want to see is this being, basically October, but the middle of September, you want them to be going out to January, you know what I mean? And taking a stand where I'm starting to build a position, into January where, it might be the exact bottom where things might be, exactly great right now, but I'm going to take a stand and start building a position in one of these. So let's look at what the wise guys are doing today, see if that's happening. Once again, let me see, same share. I'm trying to talk fast to get everything in. So if I'm, you get the picture. I'm trying to, usually on TradeGATEHub, we pitch quality over quantity, but I'm trying to get in a lot at the same time. So let's go to my feed where the option guys go. And we'll basically, I can see right away, Tesla's bullish, the XLE is bullish, GLD is bullish. So right now on my feed, I see Tesla, I see energy and commodities. Google, okay, this is what you want to see. All right. You know what? I'm getting all my points ratified in that. And I will give myself a proverbial pat on the back of that's what you want to see in something like a Google. Accumulation to June 2004. I'd like to see them to go to January. June's what can happen between now and June, but they're leading the flow in the name today. So someone step it up and say, I'm going to start building in a position. So what are they going in? What are the majority of calls? Let's look at the volume. Volume. All right. They're going into 621.24. All right. That's not much. Then someone's going out until September, which is, today. They're going out. So, all right, somebody's buying 100 calls, all right, big deal. You know what I mean? Bro, that could be me, literally. So, as scary as that sounds, Google, another sweep detected. That's good. Mostly, okay, this is what I look at. Mostly cheap hedging out there. That means people want to play a bounce in Roku instead of buying, a Roku at the number, in the hundreds. Buy 20,000 worth of calls. I get it. They're liquid. It's that type of day. So I wouldn't put too much credence into it, except maybe Google, Airbnb bullish, Google or D-Dog. D-Dog looks good. The D-Dog looks good or bounced. It was strong today. That looks good. You know what I mean? What are you going to do there? It's a channel. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, one way or the other, D-Dog. But noted that they got some calls. It is one of these best of breed data stocks. So noted. When bearish, that's probably go with LVS. So here we go. Bottom line is NASDAQ mix with social names, Google snap lower. Put call ratios coming in not favorable for the bulls because this rally wiped a lot of weight. People covered a lot of puts. So now it's back to stock picking, if you will. So I wouldn't necessarily be doing much. JP Morgan. Let's go here. Do I have any questions in TradeGATEHub? TV markets. Let's go to my Twitter feed. Google flows again. Google flows, big deal. Google more flows 2 minutes. Now they're going in June again. So somebody's listening. You know what they're doing? They're following this dude. Google, Tesla, XLE, and GLD. That's all hedging. When you're hedging on XLE and the GLD and buying Google as a hedge, if you will, everybody's just, position. That's it. Those are all hedges. You know what I mean? Somebody's buying some calls in GLD. I get it. Somebody might be positioning an XLE or hedging their call. I get it. So, and if you want to go JD bullish, Google. Look, all right. So there's another one. So that's the story. You want to do that, do that. If not, we go for those active traders like myself, that'll never change. Up on high relative volume, all we care about is Moho. Good volume, 17 cents, not interested. Frey, I saw that up in the morning. Beyond Meat, you bite somebody's nose off, you have a nice bounce the next day for 4%. All right. So I have to remember that the day after the CEOs bite somebody's nose off, it sells off, the next day it bounces. That's a new algorithm. General Mills, SITFIX had earnings today, reversed. Oh, you know what? SFIX. That reversed nice on volume. I saw that come on. I saw that this morning, and normally I'd be in it because it's heavily shorted. And then I saw what else? I looked at RVLV. Nah, nothing. General Mills, I'll show you the chart of. They make food products. General Mills, I wouldn't go long this one with Lewis's money. But there's General Mills saying something about the economy. 76 to 80. You never see a stock move like this on General Mills. You go to the weekly, and the ultimate compliment of looking at a chart that looks good long term is the monthly. So you got General Mills. You draw the line, it's going to 90, maybe 85. I'm not buying it here. But you know what? Every time General Mills, maybe it's more of a macro situation. You know what? It's going to get the coach highlighter, General Mills, the compliment. General Mills, where's that UEC, by the way? That got the highlighter yesterday, UEC. UEC in the middle of the range. All right, no problem. Just seeing UEC. So General Mills shows us something right there. Now, if the other stocks start bouncing and General Mills holds up there, that's bullish in general. Then it goes into just a stock play to a candle. More on the stock selection list. Stitch Fix reverse head news. Cody was upgraded. NVTA small floater. I'm more interested in the ones with this type of move. MU nice reversal. Smart. Hotel. Wayfair. Ooh, that's a squeezer. Oh, look at the Wayfair. Mara. Calls all over the board yesterday for Mara. All over the board too. You remember that? Anybody remember? Can you hear me? Mara had calls all over the board yesterday. What's moving up now? So this is a 5-second delay for this. It's a great little thing. D-Dog moving up. Chewy squeezing people. TTD array. Any of my stocks moving? AFRM. MQ I took a nice position in. So what's going on as of now? Chewy, 1 day delay. Chewy going to, so TTD, AARY is solar. Chewy, EMPH solar. That means our run. PAGS is going up with MQ. That's the payment provider. Chico's, Stitch Fix, Lyft. Come on now. Laser, a follow through. Where was the laser? That was good yesterday. Laser, let that one go. S, we're in that one for the fund. DNB, Stitch Fix, Square, nice reversal. Now let's look what's weak for the day. You know, I saw Alcoa was breaking down for the day, and you want to see that, believe it or not. Sava got crushed. 1 day wonder yesterday. There you go, Alcoa, XPEV, killing the people. How did that not work? XPEV, that's approaching. Look at that, XPEV. That's what happens. 1 day wonders. You try to pick the bottom, and it looked good. It looked good. But now XPEV, it doesn't go. If it, XPEV, you got to bite the bullet and get out if it breaks a new low. Bottom line. But it does have the volume where it could capitulate. But there's so much better. You know, Lewis, if you're listening. XPEV, Alcoa, NIO, Royal Caribbean. That's because crude's up. The Caribbean, NIO breaking down. Moving down now. We don't want to see this. Moving down now. Time frame. Good. AMD moving down now. General Mills, I jinxed. Oh, that's not time frame. Time frame. 1131 Stitch Fix. I jinxed it. GAS, top tick. How about new highs? All you should care about is break up the, let me wrap up here. All you should be concerned about now from a trading perspective, as opposed to those Google calls going out long term, is this relative volume for the day and the change. Match it up. And this new highs and new lows. Breakout range, maybe. What's breaking out on the range right here? Net, that's good. Stitch Fix. All stocks we've already mentioned. Campbell Soup and Pepsi. General Mills and Kellogg, to know that Philip Morris, I had that this morning. I sold it. I sold them all. What a putz. But this is where I'm going to sell it. I took Philip Morris last night. I'll show you the chart. I liked it because it was a safe baby dividend. It was a wuss dividend play. It had a big move up, rested a little bit right at the gap. And once it took out the gap and the 8 day, it's probably going to 44. And you know what? I sold it. I sold the winner because I wanted some liquidity. I think I sold it at 44.38. 43.70. You know what? I should have held the winner. What are you going to do? But here's on the list right now. Now we're getting into trading. Bottom line is, any more action with the wise guys? New share. Make sure new share. I'm not going to get the flow of things. I apologize. It takes me a little bit. Shop bearish. Top bets today. Google, Home Depot. Now it's going to go on my list to build into the TradeGate fund now. Google and Home Depot. I think if I put some money to work in both of those, they're really going to Google now. They're all in this one thing, JD bullish. All right. You get the picture? Any questions, anyone? Sold death pegs yesterday. Nice, Lewis. You know what? Not to be dramatic, I don't know who's ever laying on here. I'm proud of you. That was smart. Real smart, Lewis. You didn't have an ego. The trade didn't work. Yeah. Consumer staple metals and oils. That's correct. Metals had that. What did that metal that I like? Alcoa, Alcoa. I don't know why I'm stuck on this Alcoa, but this has got to turn around. But I think that has more chemicals in it these days because the CC had numbers and that was down a lot, but it reversed nicely. Oils, let's look at the best of breeds oils, as you say, PXD. Okay, let's look at EOG. Let's look at the XLE where all the calls went off, right? So let's look at the XLE chart. I really don't have an opinion on it. I get it. It's going to take some time. It's range bound. It's going to take either Putin news or more news or something, another catalyst. Another catalyst. It's in the chart. It's in, it's in the, I don't really, you know what? I don't have to think about them. Consumer staples, correct, Lewis. Where's that Dow Chemical? Did I ever bounce off the low? Dog. Consumer staples, Campbell Soup, Pepsi. But once you saw that the General Mills go, the Mike V of 20 years ago would have been on Kellogg. I would have bought Kellogg when it did that bar. It gapped up at 72. I would have held this at 73. I don't know why it do on now. Why I didn't do it now. What's the rest of the group? What's that Nike doing? Nike bounce it all, this bastard. This Nike's in the Home Depot, Google. This is the group of the long-term group. I'm not going to full. Google's in the sector. Lewis or anybody else care to show? Google's in there. Nike's in there. I know I didn't get the bottom, or I'm not going to get the bottom. Google, Nike, Home Depot. What else do we like? Maybe I'll get the XLV. I'm trying to position now, even I'm talking out loud in some fun situation. XLV, I might get in there. 124 for a long-term play, the healthcare index. Even that, you know what? Even that, I don't even like it. Oh, what else? Distress. All right. New share. New share. New share. Fry battery, a top pick at Morgan Stanley. This FREY. Glenn Fry. This is the stock of the day. Glenn Fry. Smuggler's Blues. Battery maker. Get to know it. Glenn Fry. It's got to be on anybody's list. First of all, tell you that these battery makers you go on nicely. Is a QS ever do anything? No. Battery makers. Let's go to ALB. Lithium. How you doing? This other one, Maxon. I gave Maxon out. Maxon, hot stock. All right, I'll leave it at that, guys. You know what I mean? We're all going to be here. Target. No, Lewis. Target. I don't blame you. I couldn't talk you out of a Target short. This is what Lewis asked about Target. Target. Listen, I don't think it's going to hurt you on the short side. It's the clear get out is like the 170 area. It's got more downside. It's in the right sector. Let's look at Walmart. Yeah. Could have had it there. You bought it down there, Lewis. I remember you did Big Lots. Big Lots is one of the most heavily shorted stocks. Back Dollar General. BJ, Office Supply. Lowe's. Let's see. As long as I'm looking at Home Depot, let's look at Lowe's. Neither one of them. I think they're going to run away from me. Target. Yeah, I like Target. Right. I wouldn't short it, but listen, like I say all the time, I don't care what it makes, widgets or whatever. That doesn't look that good to me. The stock, it's a clear stop. And you know what? It's a clear cover below 150. You make so you know what? You're risking 172.5 to go one. You know what? There's the here 150 to make breaks. 150. You know what? My risk is worth the reward to me. Range breakout stocks. Let's go again. Now that I'm in it, anybody can tune off if they want. Although Coach tells me within a half an hour, everybody hangs up on you, and I get it. But we're trying to break that. Moving up now. What's moving up as of 1140? Riven, Lewis, you're in it. PC, SoFi, Upstart, Coin. They're squeezing them. Laser, we're not in it. Remember Laser? Day delay. Guys, you have to remember these stocks that have good news, and that didn't move up because of a short squeeze. Laser had a big price target raised from Morgan Stanley, so the market's been weak. It had a nice move. It had to move from what? 860 to 960. Now it's above the moving averages, curling up, has room. It's heavily shorted. Pepsi break. Look at the whole board's breaking high now. Walmart, Upstart's breaking high. It says so much. Upstart, what's that chart? There's Upstart. MQ, we in it? We have a lot of MQ. MQ, nice. Goldman upgrade, Pepsi breaking high. This is my list here now. So, I wouldn't be chasing everything, but this is what my list is telling me. Break highs. I also have this list, by the way. This is my secret scanner. Where is it? I do have a trend spider situation, real-time futures, and thank you. These tell me we're up 10%. Get out of here. 6-minute candle bullish. I have those stocks. I'm working on it, believe me. Yeah, and I'm not shy. I'll share it to everybody. TradeGATEHub, target short. Boom. All right. Trump is getting sued. That's it. I'll leave it for everybody right now. Okay, so thanks everybody. Have a plan, trade well. Coach, I'm going to look at the video and we'll see you listen, I'm not signing off. I'm here all day as I'm going to be. Listen, I'll leave it at this. My strongest quarter is the last quarter. And I don't think it's going to be any different this time. It shouldn't, because numbers don't lie after 26 years. So hang with us. It's a process. It's a marathon. Tune in and we'll see you a little bit later. Thanks again.